So I've been getting a lot of flack from everybody because I'm a storyteller and I'm long-winded, and they say, good luck. I'm going in. I'm gonna start here with my kiddos. My kids are awesome. They are the heart and soul of everything that I do, and if we could put a picture of my wife up, I could just walk off stage because that's really the whole story. My daughter is a Spitfire, and she looked at me one day as we were building the tasting room, and she said, Daddy, I've got a quote for the wall. Beer brings friends. And I said, that's really great. And as you think as a parent, you learn that what your kids see and what they believe is a lot of how you believe. So my story starts here with this handsome chap. My grandfather started an Irish pub back in 1975. It was family, local, quality ingredients, and traditional methods. That's where I grew up. That's how I grew up. This is a lovely picture of a 5-year-old Andy making bread. I didn't actually make any bread, but I learned a lot about how I could work with my dad and be a part of a family business. And that was really all it was. It was family. And then there's this guy. This is my big brother, Tom. Not only is he awesome at wearing really cool Moon Kitty shirts, but he was very successful in school. He was very athletic. He was very charming. He was fantastic. And I was very competitive, and I was going to beat him. This is my story. I succeeded in doing all of that. I achieved and I achieved and I achieved, and I went and went and went, culminating in Senior Skulls Honor Society at UMaine. I graduated in 3 years, and I was at the top of the top. It was ridiculous. But it wasn't all hard work. There was a lot of fun. This is a picture of me and my fraternity brothers at the new brewery at Brewer. And I'm really glad as I was looking, I came to the realization it's nice that there aren't any college pictures of me with my fraternity brothers, or our PR crew would have a lot harder job. But we had fun, and we learned a lot. But all that fun kind of changed a little bit and got real with this. This is my friend Andrew Geaghan, who passed away when we were 20. Living the dream, doing everything we were doing, working a summer job. He moved a ladder, hit a live power line, and was done. When you're going and going and going and you don't know why, you're just doing it because that's what achieving people do. When these times hit, you question everything. I found strength in the church, but not in necessarily the church, but the community and the message of love and hope and decency and care and kindness and all this sort of stuff. So at this point in my life, the fast track slowed down for the first time in my life. Law school aspirations turned, strangely enough, to seminary and a time of exploration. But I didn't just dive into seminary. I think I was probably the only seminarian who paid his way through school teaching physics, chemistry, and AP environmental science at a local high school. I lived all these things, and I decided at that point I wasn't going to make excuses anymore. I didn't have to be all one thing or all the other. I was going to do whatever I wanted to do and live it up. Church ministry was great, but it was not for me. As I said, the institution was troubling, and I just couldn't live in it. Though I do still minister, it's not my career, and it never will be, and I never want it to be. I want it to be a passion of mine to share love and hope, not a job. As I got to that realization, I struggled with what to do, and a PhD came to mind. And I thought that was the path, that was it. I was gonna go, go, go. And this handsome chap here, my grandfather, sitting with a young Andy, who also is actually the lineman on our label, he said, Andy, you know, you could do that if you want, but you don't want to live in an ivory tower. He said, you have the ability to reach people. You have the ability to do this. And I was at this crossroads, and I said to my wife, I don't know what I'm doing. And she said, why is the pub always in your down the road plans? And wives, in all of their wisdom, she had a plan. And I said, it's in my down the road plans because it's in my heart. And she said, that's not what I'm saying. Why isn't it sooner? She said, you can do all the things you want to do right there. So I went and stacked wood with my dad. I said, Dad, I want back in. Can you talk to my uncles and see if there's a place for me in the pub? And come to find out, There was. They said, I want you to bring craft beer in, and we could go for another multitude of hours talking about how that all happened, but we decided to brew beer at some point in time. And it's been really successful. It's been really, really fun. But I'll tell you what, these beers are great, and I love brewing, and I love the science of it, and we could talk forever about that, but this is the heart and soul of it all. It's about people. It's about relationships. It's about using passions to drive passions and connecting them into a pathway that is your life. Being who you want to be. Deciding to live that way. So yeah, I put beer on trucks and my face is out there and you think it's all fun and games and you think it's all beer all the time. But for me, it's all people, all the time. It's always been that way, and it's always going to be that way for me. So I wanted to talk today about why beer, and what is beer, and how is beer in this place. So do what you love. That's the challenge. I'm going to get preachy. Do what you love. And for what I do, this is not what I love necessarily. I love making beer, but I love the connections that that product has with the people who try it, with the people who talk to me about it. This is a picture of me at a wedding for a couple of my now employees, and it's funny to call people employees because they're friends. And I often have opportunities to minister in ways with Mug Club members. I said at a funeral of a Mug Club member's mother just recently, I said, my name is Andrew Geaghan, and I'm the pastor of the Milford Congregational Church and the pastor of Geaghan's Pub. So when you look at these two men, they are not that different. It's still family, it's still community, it's still love, it's still hard work, it's still passion, it's still some grains, some water, and some yeast. Thanks a lot.